That's a look at your consumer news. We'll send it back over to News 8 meteorologist Art Jarrett. He's got an update on our forecast.
All right, I've got some good news, some bad news, and some awkward news. We get into dense fog out there, holding on to this possibility of lingering all the way through the morning hours and sliding into portions of the afternoon. However, we do have some warm air moving in, and that will last all the way going into, say, the 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock hour when we get up to our highs for the day around 2 o'clock or so. Then once we get into some patchy fog returning once again, so that's kind of awkward because that patchy fog is going to turn into some increasing clouds later on in the overnight hours, and the possibility of rainfall kicking in as we get into your Thursday. Let's take a look at what we've got going on for you until 9 a.m. We've got this going on, dense fog possibilities from all the way in from areas from Iowa as well as portions of Minnesota. We get into the northeastern portion of our region here, holding on to the possibility of, again, some freezing fog out there as well as the possibility of some dense fog. Getting into the forecast here, we're looking at temperatures in the 30s, the 20s. Of course, you get into 30s once you get into Winona. Fog is on the way. It continues to build as we go right through the morning, and you're going to see that for Eau Claire as well. In fact, they're leading the pack right now, just around, say, a mile and a quarter visibility there, holding on the possibility of just 7 miles visibility for Winona, and La Crosse also is about 3 miles visibility or less by now. We're looking at 0 degrees, I should say 0 visibility getting to the 8 o'clock hour. So by 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock, we're going to see that unfold. La Crosse still holding on to 2 miles of visibility, 0 as you go down to Lansing as well as Prairie du Chien, back over to areas by Soldiers Grove, Boswell, and up to areas right by Black River Falls, and of course Medford still holding on to dense fog. That will continue as we roll right into the afternoon, getting into a little bit better conditions as we finish out. But some of this fog and low cloud activity is going to go and linger as patchy fog into the afternoon. We're also going to pick up more moisture on the way. We're going to be seeing rainfall coming our way eventually as we go into tomorrow. Then we'll see the mix of rain and snow kicking in as more of that snowfall kind of moves in from the west as well. And that will be going into your Friday. And then Saturday, we've got snowfall returning back again. You're looking at partly cloudy skies, possibly all the way into the areas about from at least 37 to about 39 to 40 degrees in the forecast. Leading down to the south, though, you're holding on to some partly cloudy skies for Prairie du Chien. Other locations, though, are looking at more cloudier skies with fog still lingering. We'll also be picking up the possibility of La Crosse holding on to this as 41 degrees. You can see here well above seasonal averages, so we're in the warm, holding on to temperatures in the upper 30s and cloudier skies up to the north as well, with people holding on to still some foggy conditions working into the areas as well, especially as you get off to the west, or to the east, excuse me, holding on to temperatures in the 30s and the 40s there possibly, and then lingering as we go right into the afternoon, holding on to this cloud cover, kind of still holding on. It breaks up a little bit by the 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock hour when we reach our 40s. You can see that right there. And then eventually those temperatures start to cool once you get into 30s. I should say at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock hour through your evening commute. Temperatures are widespread in the 30s, and they continue to go with increasing clouds gradually as we go into tomorrow. Then picking up more of that fog and low cloud activity coming back again, and rainfall sneaks in. It comes into light to moderate rainfall from the south, Prairie du Chien along I-90, gets up to I-94 once we get into the 5 o'clock hour in the PM. You're still seeing that with light to moderate rainfall. Snowfall starting to pick up as a mix of rain and snow starts to move in, turning into ice possibly as we go right into the 8 o'clock hour. All this tracks out, and then we're done with more ice on the forecast leading into the midnight hour. Highs for Thursday, you're looking at 38 to about 43 degrees, and everybody else is going to carry out to be like this as we roll right in the next few days, my friends, carrying over into how this all shapes up. You're looking at 40s for the next couple of days here, 30s, so above seasonal averages still as we go into the weekend, continuing that on through the weekend as well with sunshine on the way as you go right into Sunday, Monday, and then more rainfall potentially coming back again with some snow on Tuesday and Wednesday.